57. Dear Kiddo, take my hand into darkness. How to get kicked out before you even move in. If there's one thing I've learned in life, it's that nothing good ever starts with the phrase, "This relationship should have ended a long time ago." That's the sort of sentence you think to yourself in the dead of night, not the one you let slip out loud like an idiot. And yet, there I was, fresh off an ill-fated attempt at a warm reunion, seated on the edge of the bed like a man who just realized he has stepped directly onto a landmine. It all began so promisingly. There I was, back in Santa Fe, ready to be a father, a partner, and a reformed grown-up. I had the twinkle of hope in my eyes, which was really just the reflection of my own naivety staring back at me. To celebrate, I was out with my old friends, Stout and Michaeline, at Rio Chama, where the laughter flowed as freely as the overpriced cocktails. The irony was thick, the jokes were flying, and for one brief shining moment, I felt like myself. Then, I had a thought, one of those well-intentioned but monumentally disastrous thoughts. Why not invite Mom to join us? Now, in hindsight, this was akin to inviting a shark to a pool party and hoping it would just vibe with the floaties. I should have known better. The moment she arrived, the air shifted. Not in a gentle, romantic way, like the tide rolling in at sunset. No, this was more like when a storm cloud suddenly blots out the sun and you realize you forgot to bring an umbrella. My usual humor dried up. My words felt forced. My stomach twisted into that familiar knot that only comes from knowing you are about to get in trouble, and there's not a damn thing you can do to stop it. Back at the house, things only got worse. The situation resembled some sort of overcrowded dystopian sitcom. Nona was in the living room, my daughter Luca in the nada room, Aunt Titty. Yes, you read that right, had somehow secured a real room. And we all shared one bathroom like it was a relic from an ancient civilization. I watched Mom as she unpacked, still beautiful, still commanding, and yet I felt it in my gut. This was a mistake. And, as if my mouth had an insatiable death wish, I said it, out loud. Mom froze. Her eyes narrowed. The room temperature dropped at least 10 degrees. I had just detonated the emotional equivalent of a nuclear bomb in a single, bone-headed sentence. I didn't mean it, I tried, but it was too late. The mom hurricane had made landfall. Before I knew it, she was yanking my clothes from the closet with the force of a woman possessed. Socks flew. Shirts rained down. She tossed a pair of my jeans so hard that I swear they hit the wall with an audible thunk. "Mom, listen." I started, but she wasn't listening. She was conducting an impromptu eviction with the efficiency of a military operation. "I'm serious," I pleaded, as she threw a boot at me. "If we go down this road, we might not ever recover." But it was like trying to reason with an erupting volcano. She grabbed the phone and called Stout. "Come get him," she said. "And his crap?" And just like that, my grand return to Santa Fe, my hopeful new chapter, turned into a tragicomic exit, punctuated by the sound of my belongings hitting the floor. Stout and Michaeline arrived minutes later, surveying the disaster zone that had once been my home. "Dude," Stout muttered, watching as Mom lobbed a duffel bag into my arms. "What the hell did you say?" "I may have, suggested that this relationship should have ended a long time ago." Michaeline gasped. Stout just shook his head. "You absolute fool." And with that, they loaded me and my humble belongings into the car. As we drove off, I looked back at the house, wondering how, in under an hour, I had gone from hopeful Kiddo parent to a homeless fool with a duffel bag full of regret. One thing was certain, I was definitely going to need another drink.